and things are happening in our schools. And we've got a lot of organization and parents that are standing up to do something about it. The next person that I would like to introduce is Holly Balad. She is with Let Them Be. If you're on Facebook, go type it in and search it and go join their page. She's also a state committee woman for District 5 and the vice chair for Monroe County. Let's hear what she has to say. Thank you, Holly.
Thank you, Bree, so much. Thank you guys for letting me be here today. I'm an event planner also, so I understand all the work that went behind all of this. And so I just want to thank D-2, I want to thank Bree and the whole team that's doing this event. I know how much work this was behind all the scenes. So yeah, I'm actually used to speaking in front of school boards, so the fact that no one's going to turn my microphone off today is actually kind of a weird experience for me. But usually I'm reading pornographic materials, which don't worry, I won't be doing that today. But I do have my porn binder with me at all times, so you guys can come see us at our booth afterwards if you want to see some of the books that are available in all the schools throughout the state. But so Let Them Be started off first with COVID lockdowns, trying to make sure to fight for all the students to get back to school, back into sports. And then it went into fighting mask mandates and all the vaccine requirements. And then as parents started to get involved and aware of what was going on in their districts, they realized how much stuff was being indoctrinated into the agendas and into their budgets and into their curriculum. And so it actually just evolved into not just fighting for kids' sports, but also just fighting for kids in general. So it's evolved into the largest Facebook coalition of parent advocates in the entire state of Michigan. And we are creating more ways for parents to be able to get more engaged and actually be effective in changing what's happening within our schools. So we have ways for, especially with Pride Month coming up, there's so much stuff that's already been happening in our districts. We do have a way for you guys to be able to document some of the indoctrination and the promotion and activism inside your districts, and you can report back to us so that we can keep receipts of all the stuff that's taking place. This stuff is illegal. Like Marion Sheridan mentioned with Great Schools Initiative, there are a lot of different things that are being worked on right now for us to be able to fight this stuff in court. But we have to have documentation of all the things that are happening. So we have more information about that at our booth as well for ways that you guys could actually help us in getting that documentation. So, but just wanted to say, my daughter, before I came up here, she mentioned to me what the verse of the day was, and it was Joshua 1:9, and I thought that was really telling. It said, "Be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And I think that is so incredibly important for all of us to be reminded of today, because each one of us are here for a reason, and God did not create us to just do what's easy, but to do what was right. We weren't created to just be comfortable or rich or popular. You are here not just to play it safe or be indifferent to things that are happening. We're here for a purpose, for His purpose. And our kids are being harmed. They are absolutely being harmed. And we cannot sit by and let it happen and do nothing. So, I just wanted to say that, if you feel compelled to do that, please come and talk to us. We need people to be advocates for our children, and we need to be strong together, and we cannot sit idly by. The moment that I always think about whenever an angry school board member is judging me is that there will come a day where I will sit before an almighty God to judge me. And my goal is that He will look at me and say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." And that is all of our responsibilities to do, to make sure that that moment we know that we did what we were supposed to do while we were here. So please come and talk to us so we can help figure out how to do that. Thank you so much. God bless.
We love our moms!
Thank you, Holly. Let me help you down. It's a big stuff right here. There are so many ways that you can be involved, folks, and we need to be involved. Another person, Luke Malace, with Michigan Turning Point Action. He is a representative that's here to speak to us, and he's going to let us know how we can be activated. Thank you, Luke.
Yeah, Luke, my man!
All right. Well, first I want to go ahead and say thank you to everybody and the volunteers that put this whole thing together. I know it's not easy to put on big events. We've done them in the past during elections, and they're not easy. So thank you for doing this, Bree, and everybody else involved. So I'm with Turning Point Action. A lot of people know Turning Point for Turning Point USA on the college campuses and everything. We're the 501c4 nonprofit, so we get out there, we recruit precinct delegates in off election years, and then we do trainings with young conservatives and really getting out the vote efforts and doing voter registration drives and really just the whole political realm of things. And then during elections, we go ahead and we endorse U.S. Senate candidates and U.S. Congress candidates, and we do get out the vote efforts for them, like we had John Gibbs in the last election that we had endorsed, and we went out there and knocked thousands of doors for him. So that's what we did. So what I really wanted to talk to you guys about, though, was, so we're talking about the anti-indoctrination here in this rally, and I want to just hone in on something that Bernadette said. We're up against so much evil in this country. I travel the entire state, and I see such evil and terrible things that are being portrayed onto these next generation of students inside of the universities, and the things that are being taught. And I just want to say what we need to do is we need to unite in prayer and just genuinely break through that way, because without prayer, like our founding fathers, that's exactly what they relied upon, was prayer. Before they did the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, like we can go back and see that they prayed ahead of time and that they sought His wisdom, and that's the only way that we're going to move forward as a nation right now. And if we want to do it correctly, it has to be going back to Jesus. And one other thing I wanted to kind of discuss was the Michigan Young Republicans. A lot of people aren't familiar with the Young Republicans, but we're restructuring them here in the state of Michigan. And so Shane, he's over at the Grand New Party stand over there. You can talk to him. He'll be on the executive committee. I will be too. And then Parker Shantz is going to be here as well, a little bit later speaking, and other people will be talking about kind of the vision for that. But I just want to let you guys know that we're going to be really getting a lot of young people involved between the age of 18 to 40. And if you are involved and you want to get more involved with Turning Point Action and getting on with us for the next election cycle, or with Young Republicans, come over to our table over there. We have our awesome new representative, Miguel. And this is actually his first day on the job out here in West Michigan. So we're looking forward to being able to continue the work that we've been doing, and we just thank everybody for having us. So.
You rock, Luke!
Thanks, Mike.
You rock, Luke. So I was looking through my note cards. I wanted to make sure just to thank Luke Malace, right? And I have all these little notes that I put down, like, okay, making sure that I'm staying on point, and I'm going, where's our next speaker? Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Bree Moeggenberg. I'm with Moms for Liberty of Isabella County. I will be your next speaker. Yeah, thank you.
We love you, Bree!
Hey, I love you, Michael. I love you all. Moms for Liberty. We all know Moms for Liberty is a national organization, right? It's huge. Like, they're popping up all over the place. Well, I got involved because of our kids. And what did it start with? It started with those masks. But what did we find out when those masks went on the kids? We started to see all this online schooling, what was happening, right? What was happening in our schools? What are they talking to our kids about? And they talk a lot about sexuality. I say that in my head because if I spell it out on Facebook, I'm going to get flagged, because you can never write that word together. So approximately a year ago, I started going to the State Board of Education meetings. Sometimes I'd write something down. Sometimes I wouldn't write things down. There was one time I actually went in there after we were called provocateurs, the parents that would call in and read the nasty, dirty books. Who's read any of the nasty, dirty books you can find in the school libraries? I can't say the things that those books say out loud, but we were called provocateurs for reading the books that our kids can check out in the library. And then we get to see all these drag queens, right, that are going into the school. So you know what I did? I have a Wonder Woman costume. Put that thing on. I wore my winter coat. I got up, and where's Nikki? Nikki's not here. Hopefully she's backstage somewhere. Nikki wasn't there that time, and I'm so sad, because Tom was like, whoa, what just happened? I took that coat, I unzipped it, and here comes Wonder Woman. And I sat right down. And I said, don't you dare call me a provocateur, but if you are, thank you, Jesus, for the provocateurs that stand up for our kids. I went on to speak to the state board, and we offered, on behalf of Moms for Liberty of Isabella County, a resolution concerning sexuality and gender education and promotion in Michigan public schools. Besides Tom and Nikki, are two conservative, Christian, faithful, standing for the kids, education members. Nobody else wanted to touch it. There were 3 things that were in that resolution. I mean, this is going to floor you because also it goes along with GSI and state law. The 3 things that were going to happen. We had wanted them to resolve if sexuality discussions, education or promotion, was to take place out of sexual education class. Keep in mind, that's the only place it should be. If it was going to take place out of that class, we weren't saying ban the books, we weren't saying any of that. We just said, number 1, alert the parents. Number 2, give them an opportunity to opt their child out. Number 3, if their child is going to be opted out, that child has a constitutional right to an education. You better replace that education with something else. They didn't want to touch it. Explain that to me. Somebody that can explain it better, though, is somebody that stood up over and over and over again. I believe for over 6 years now. Her name is Nikki Snyder. She is a State Board of Education member, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about all of this. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Bree. This is a wonderful event, and there will be many more to come because this issue is not going away. And I think we all need to remember why we're here. The very purpose of why we're here is because of who we are and how we were made. We are here to celebrate the fact that we were made uniquely woman. I was. I'm a very real woman standing before you here today saying that the idea of what a woman is can and should be defined. What a woman is, the authenticity of who she is, can and should be protected and honored. We have meaning and purpose, and that meaning and purpose is beautiful, you guys. To seek protection of that signals ownership and strength in that identity. And I want you to think about something right now. We have groups of people in our country that spend the entire month of June celebrating what they think their identity is, who they are, how they were made. They believe they deserve protection. They believe they deserve to be accepted, honored, respected. There are laws, policies, ways of thinking, systems, and everything lining up behind them to protect them and their identity. So I have a question for you. Why do they get to do that, but we don't? Why do they have protection, but I don't? Why do they have an identity that is worthy and honorable, but I don't? That makes me really pissed off. I'm Nikki Snyder. I've served you on the State Board of Education for the last 6 years of an 8-year term, and yes, I have fought for safety and honor for real biological women in bathrooms, in sports. You want to know the truth of it? Title IX was honestly written decades ago to do just that. To provide equal access to public education for girls and young women. And we know research shows that when they have equal access, their grades are better. They themselves are respected and honored just the same way that they're asking and bulldozing us in every way, shape, or form. So we should continue to say that, hey, in fact, because we believed women's rights mattered at one point in time, hey, still do. Do they not? Do they not still matter? Then we need to line up behind this issue. Because here's the deal. This is the civil rights issue of the 21st century, and it is not going away. Even though woke teachers want to follow the Michigan Department of Education, who thinks that parents don't deserve to have the information about whether or not their child is transitioning, using different pronouns, using different names. Sure, they can line up behind them, but we don't have to. This is the civil rights issue of the 21st century.